lengthy period of time now for an answer for the students who are requesting a bus from Bantry to Scull Community College. 31 children are in need of this bus service. Can you announce today, Minister, that this school bus service will be made available, giving relief to parents and children from the Bantry area?
Thank you very much, Deputy. As you're aware, the school transport scheme is a significant operation managed by Bus Éireann on behalf of the Department of Education. And in the 23-24 school year, over 161,600 children, including 135,000 pupils, travelling on primary and post-primary services, 19,800 pupils with special education needs, and 6,800 pupils who have arrived to Ireland from Ukraine were transported on a daily basis to primary and post-primary schools throughout the country. The total cost of the scheme in 2023 was €382.02 million. At present, pupils at primary level are eligible where they live no less than 3.2 kilometres from and are attending their nearest primary school as determined by the Department and Bus Éireann, having regard to ethos and language. At post-primary, students who live no less than 4.8 kilometres from and are attending their nearest post-primary school or education centre, as determined again, having regard to ethos and language, are deemed eligible. There has been a significant overall increase year on year in school transport applications and tickets issued. In 2018-2019 school year, the total number of children availing of primary, post-primary and special education transport was 117,800. In comparison, the number of children availing of school transport for the 23-24 school year increased to over 161,600, which is an increase of 37%. As part of budget measures for 24, Government announced an additional 50 million for school transport, which will allow continued investment for children to access the school transport scheme. The increased investment on the scheme is due in the main to the cost encouraged to run it and to make it available to more students. Alongside the €50 million in funding for investment in the overall scheme, a further 42 million was provided as part of the cost of living measures announced in Budget 24. This funding will be used to assist families with the cost of education, and reduced fees will continue to apply on the school transport scheme for the 24-25 academic year. All funding for the school transport scheme for 24 will be derived from core and current funding. Any requirements for supplementary funding for 24 will be sought using the agreed supplementary estimates process.
Thank you, Minister, for your reply, but I didn't get a reply. The question I asked, will there be a bus service provided for 31 children from Bantry to Scull Community College? Thank you, you bamboozled me there with figures, but I didn't get a reply to the question I asked, and I don't have much time, and in fairness, I would really appreciate that you would concentrate on that when you answer me the next time. We are in here every day of the week speaking about climate action. Surely the first step is to put enough school transport so we don't have parents and grandparents traipsing all over the county trying to get their kids to and from school when there should be a bus available. You're talking about 24 kilometres here, Minister, every day. So 31 children. You could be talking about 21 cars back and forth into Scull, out to Scull from Bantry every day of the week. That's an outrageous situation. It's not. I'm not here pleading for one child, and I would if I had to, but I'm talking about 31 children. So I would really appreciate you concentrate fully on giving me a straight answer. Is this service going to be provided from the department or not?
Thank you very much, Deputy. You will appreciate that the scheme is managed on behalf of the Department of Education by Bus Éireann. You will appreciate that there is a criteria of eligibility for the scheme, and that's students who live 3.2 kilometres at primary school from their nearest primary school, or 4.8 kilometres at post-primary from their nearest or next nearest school. That is the criteria as laid down. You will be aware that more than 163,000 young people have benefited and are benefiting from that scheme and have benefited last year from it, and no doubt even more will benefit going forward for the 24-25 school year. At present, all those who have applied and paid on time, their applications are being adjudicated as to whether they meet the existing criteria, which, as I've outlined for you, is 4.8 kilometres at post-primary, as you specifically referenced that, to their nearest or next nearest school. If they meet that eligibility criteria and a route in place, well, then they will be eligible.
Thank you, Minister. There's lots of other areas in relation to school transport. I would also remind that we would say requested a larger bus or two minibuses for students in Ardfield going to Clonakilty. There's also issues in Rath National School, Laura National School. There's lots of issues out there in relation to transport for children going to schools. And, you know, there's other issues like Cloghoff National School, and they're looking for construction in the classroom. And there are issues I could concentrate. But there's 31 children that need transport service from Bantry to Scull. And I submitted this question, I think, Friday, Minister, so you've had plenty of time, your department, to look and to give a straight answer. You're not even mentioning the word Bantry to Scull in your answer. You're talking about the general rules that are laid out. Is this service going to be made available, Minister? I'm asking a straight up question, yes or no. There's surely no greater thing to ask a Minister. Is it yes or no? Will there be a school bus service this September to give relief to the parents from Bantry that want their children to go to Scull Community College? 31 children. Deputy. Yes or no, Minister?
Thank you very much. And Deputy, for absolute clarity, in the question that you submitted, you made no reference to any of the schools that you referenced when you took to the floor. In actual fact, you simply asked if there was going to be increased funding made available to run the bus Éireann service. So let's be absolutely clear about what you sought information on and what you actually asked information on, and indeed what you've now asked for on the floor of the Dáil. Two very separate things. So I endeavoured to answer the question that you put on paper and that you required me to answer. I've done that. Obviously, over the last number of years, we've increased substantially the funding made available to run the school transport scheme. No doubt we will be doing likewise in the context of Budget 25 going forward. We've a very ambitious plan so as to ensure that there will be 100,000 additional young people availing of the bus service. Again, I will say to you there is a clear criteria at this point in time. If students meet that criteria and a route is in place, then they will be deemed eligible. If they don't meet the criteria, they will not be eligible. Equally so, we are running new pilots, two types of pilots, which will do away with the distance criteria and reduce it to 2 kilometres, and equally so that will reduce the criteria for nearest or next nearest school. So those pilots will inform how we will move forward.
Thank you, Minister. Okay, this question